Okay. Welcome to... What happened? I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear it in the heavens.
Okay.
Welcome to Contra Gentiles season 4 some episode.
Episode Who Cares?
Episode Who Gives a Shit?
Yes.
We don't anymore. I knew that was I knew we were eventually gonna stop announcing the episode number.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
We kept it up for a really long time.
I know.
Should we just stop?
No, maybe when we start the new season, we'll be back
Another
on track.
one.
Yeah.
I think when we regroup.
Yeah.
We're due for a regrouping.
Yeah.
Everybody listening knows.
Yeah.
What are these guys doing? We're undergoing hardship and complicated personal strife on mainly my end. That makes it hard to do anything consistently. But it'll get better. We'll get there. Anyway, you good?
Wow. Yeah, really good.
Why do you sound so quiet?
I don't know. Why don't you talk louder?
I could just push this knob.
Okay.
That's fine. I do tend to I anchor my the space between my chin and my lip right on the bottom of the mic and hold it. So it's very a lot of low.
We don't touch it. So
I
if
know.
I talk like this, is better?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
It doesn't matter. Maybe it's better. Byron Nook Book Chuck or whatever I said. Anyway, we're good.
Yes.
Hanging out with our weird plate of food that no one can see.
Yeah, nobody can see
The
that.
sushi was not bad for $8.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't find out later that it wasn't good, but where did you park?
Oh, right up front.
Oh, where were you when I got here? State building or something?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I was like, oh, no one's here.
Yeah, I know when I came in, I already knew you were here because I smelled you.
Good. You're like, is he still here? Is he not still here? And then you had to hunt for me for a while. There's the Vladimir Putin one.
Bag there. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I just walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah, just entertain myself.
Good.
Go eat secret things I'm not going to tell you what they were.
Things.
Yeah, because I don't want you to kill yourself. Anyway.
Yeah. So how you been doing?
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm not obligated this Lent, but I'm pretending to dabble in it.
Yeah.
I feel bad about everything. I could give up that. I could give up that. I could give up that. And I'm still doing all of them. And it's really annoying. I mean, I know it's supposed to be giving something up. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a point.
It's supposed to be super
yourself.
difficult and annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm carrying. I'm bantering until you catch on. I'll catch a thread at some point. Oh, dude, I have stories.
Okay, yeah.
Downtown's gotten unbearably bad. Even like the homeless. It's way worse than it was like a month ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it just because it's less cold now? Well, I guess they're doing that.
It's been getting incrementally worse every month for like the last 4 years. Yeah.
It was because they have the Iditarod.
Yeah. That's
Do people know what the Iditarod is?
No.
Iditarod's
right now
like
it's the Ferrandi, but yeah, then the Iditarod.
Well, they have the imported snow track thing up.
Yeah.
They did the sled dog race. Everybody knows Balto.
I don't know if they do.
I know people that know Balto.
Yeah.
Anyway, look Balto up if you don't know. If you're like one of the 5 people. It was a pretty famous movie.
It was.
Yeah. People know Balto of a certain age.
Yeah, but I don't think they know that
what it is.
Like it's a true story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the
Balto.
cartoon was not
they were literally running. Was it pneumonia medication to? No, it wasn't pneumonia.
It was something else. Yeah. Dysentery. No, I don't know what it was. It might have been.
The sled dogs were running butt plugs up for the dysentery victims or something. It's a sled dog. It's a yearly sled dog race. And when was the first time they started importing snow? Like 2012, 13?
Was it that late? I don't know.
Might have been earlier. We haven't been getting nearly as much snow in Anchorage.
Because now the Anchorage one is a ceremonial start.
Yes, and then the other one's in Willow.
Yeah, the real star's in Willow.
I don't know why they don't just do that. Why do they do why doesn't everyone just go to Willow?
They do. The people that actually want to see the race, because right now, Ferrandi and the Iditarod are two different things. The Ferrandi is just a festival when they do a ceremonial start. And then the actual Iditarod,
because it used to be
a
joint.
few weeks. It doesn't even start like immediately after. Like the ceremonial start is just like people just...
They just go down like 8 blocks and then turn and then it's over.
That's it, yeah.
But I don't understand the point. I don't know what the...
I think just because originally it started here. And so
places change.
Yes.
Why don't they just change? Why don't they just start it in Willow?
That's what I mean.
They do start it in Willow, but
yeah.
why don't they just not do the ceremonial start in Anchorage?
I don't know.
Because there's so many homeless people. I was gonna say is like it's lined with homeless people.
Oh,
I walked around the whole thing today when we were kind of waiting to get started.
Yeah.
And it was just homeless people everywhere.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was very weird. And they're like louder.
Yeah.
And they're less segregated. It was weird.
Yeah. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if it ends. I mean, like the Saturday market has been going on downtown Anchorage for at least like 40 years.
Yeah.
And then like 2 years ago it stopped, and now it's over in Diamond. And so it's
but they still do it on Diamond.
Yeah.
Is it because of the homeless problem?
Yeah, a large part of it was that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I could see it eventually just like Ferrandi stop being an Anchorage thing. They might move it to Palmer.
Yeah.
And then just do the start there down to I mean, it would literally make more sense because Palmer still is a downtown at least, but then they could actually make it look.
There, I got your mic.
Yeah, then it could actually just proceed to go to Willow.
Yeah,
rather than just doing the stupid thing that they do here that isn't real.
I don't think Willow would. Well, people in Willow don't like anybody going to Willow.
I know, but that's what I said. If they just did it in Palmer, they could change the start to Palmer, because before they did it to Willow, they started in Wasilla. Yeah. And then they pushed it to Willow
for snow reasons.
Yeah, and population just grew too much Wasilla. So
yeah, I just don't understand the ceremonial Anchorage start and then it starts somewhere else.
Yeah,
because it's ugly.
Yes,
no one goes anymore.
Yeah, nobody wants to see the hobos. Yeah, downtown Anchorage is dying, which is unfortunate.
Oh, but the big one is like I was walking back, and then as I was walking past this JCPenney door, 3 shoplifters with suitcases burst out the doors
from JCPenney's.
Yeah, just like earlier today.
Really?
Yeah, like a couple hours ago. Whenever when you were doing your shoot.
Did somebody try to chase them down?
Yeah. One of them was tackled. The other one ran. She was like a 5-foot woman.
Yeah.
What ran right past me, and I had to fight the urge to not just like body check her into the wall and keep walking.
Yeah, I would have.
I was like, I didn't want to have to be involved after that. I want to just do it and then walk away. I wouldn't want to have to talk to anybody. I didn't want to.
Yeah, you could have eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they might
I would have just given them my phone number.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, he chased her like a block and a half and then just let her go, I guess. He wasn't trying that hard.
Yeah, well, she actually got away. Mm-hmm. And the other guy didn't, though?
Well, there were 3. There was 2 people got away. Oof. But they all went in different directions.
Yeah.
Obviously. And there were only 2 guys. They got 1 guy.
Oh, okay.
Mm. And then the other 2 got away. I could have body checked her, but I was like, she's 5 foot. She's a woman. I don't want to get talked to about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I decided to not, but
damn.
It would have been a cooler story if I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like I was having a kind of repulsed experience being downtown, and then that happens right in front of me.
Yeah.
Right as I was concluding my walk. I was like, what a shithole.
No, it is. It's getting just really bad. And now they're moving the bus station here. I am honest. We don't have to talk about it right now, but I am probably going to move locations and everything.
Oh, the business. Where are you thinking of going?
I don't know. I have to see the prices and availability.
Would Wasilla be lucrative, or?
I would have to see.
Oh.
Yeah, most of my clients are not from the valley.
Oh, so you might have to do it on the east side or something.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a better drive for you.
Or just risk it and see if I get clients out there.
Mm.
I do have some, at least. It isn't as if there isn't. There's many people that want me to open it up over there, so it's
yeah, it might work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Anchorage downtown is not a place to be doing business, obviously.
No, yeah. It's especially once that bus stop goes up. It's like,
is it right across the street?
Yes. They're going to shut everything down. The parking is not going to be there anymore. There's my customers can't park there.
Like JCPenney parking?
No, the street parking.
Oh.
right in front of Nordstrom.
Why would you want to be... Where else are they going to park? 3 blocks away?
Yeah, they can. And they're going to shut down D Street.
Parking?
Yep. There's
All
gonna
of
be-
it?
Yeah.
Oh, like this
At least
right
D.
here.
Yeah, D to all the way to probably 7th Ave. So yeah.
That's almost impossible to find parking anyway.
Yeah. But it's downtown's getting pretty shitty.
I mean, it's been getting shitty.
I know, but
especially since COVID. But
yeah, that accelerated it big time.
it's like, damn, it's bad now.
Yeah.
It's like the Wild West. Literally.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you want to get into it?
Get into it. So today we are going to discuss this last year's... Did it come out this year or last year? It was last year.
2022, yeah.
Late 2022. I saw it in theaters when it came out.
Yeah.
But, Darren Aronofsky's The Whale.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it with Joe. I had to cover my face the whole time. I was such a mess the whole time. Darren Aronofsky's directed. Requiem for a Dream is a big one that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He hasn't done a ton that everybody would know.
Yeah, Black Swan was a
big
really
movie.
Big one, which is actually one of my least favorites of his. Was Black Swan.
It wasn't that great.
No.
I would like to have a couple weeks where I go through all of his movies.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Black Swan. I've seen Mother.
Yeah.
I've seen The Fountain.
The Fountain, yes.
A while ago though. I don't remember it.
With the guy who plays Wolverine. What's his name again?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
That's the Tree of Life kind of thing, right? Yeah.
It was so good. I really love that movie. I know people are going to criticize me for that.
He's a really good director.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the people. So him and P.T. Anderson are the two that I normally point towards. People who understand storytelling and a proper pacing.
Yeah,
is that he could direct an entire movie. The entire movie of The Whale is just in a living room. Yeah. And he could build an compelling story of just a living room setting.
So the movie was based on a play by something Samuelson.
Yes.
I don't remember the guy's first name, but from 2012.
Yeah.
Apparently Darren Aronofsky's wanted to make the movie since he first saw it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No one would do it.
Yeah. But he is before we get into the movie, I just want to talk about the glories of Darren Aronofsky because he's someone that I truly admire as a proper storyteller, as a proper director. He never puts me to sleep. He's always he's spot on in how to I wish all these young filmmakers can just take a lesson from him.
Yeah.
All right. If anybody
he's only 45, isn't he?
Yeah, he's around 45, 50 or something like that.
Yeah, he's not old.
He's not old, but I mean...
He's old guard.
Yes,
he's from the 90s.
Yeah. But yeah, if anybody's ever seen his first movie, Pi, it's like... You're talking about a movie that didn't need any of the technology to make it compelling and to make this weird sci-fi movie extremely interesting, better than any other sci-fi movie that came out in the 90s.
He's 54, sorry.
54, okay, yeah.
But still...
he knows how to tell the story through cinema, through motion picture, and I know I criticize a lot of the more recent movies, like the Marvel movies and all that shit, but part of it is just because I think that I think a lot of our listeners are relatively young, at least from what I've seen. Yeah. It's I would just tell anybody that listens, just take a step back and watch some of these magnificent movies from the 90s because you will get to understand why some people like me or Scorsese or whatever are very...
You and Scorsese?
Well, no, me. Same thing with anybody that's into the cinema, right?
Okay.
But people that were vocal about it. I'm not comparing myself to him. I'm just saying
me and my boy Marty.
Yeah, no, people who have criticized a lot of these newer movies... Yeah. There's a reason for it. And I think a large part of it is just because a lot of these newer filmmakers, they don't understand how to tell a story without flash, without bling, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's as if they're relying on, these beautiful cinema cameras because there's no there's no arguing that these Marvel movies look beautiful, and just an objective standard of its cleanness.
Like they're visually perfect.
Yes, they're visually perfect, right? I'm not going to argue that. Of course it is. That the entire CG animation, everything is phenomenal. The action sequences are things that we have never even imagined that could be shot in a movie in the past, because we didn't have that technology in the 90s. Really, we saw it kind of in Jurassic Park in the mid 90s, and with the Matrix and everything, but it was still in its infant stage compared to what it boomed in the 2010s with all the Marvel shit. Like, they took it to the next level. None of that I criticize, but what I criticize is that literally
they're unwatchable.
Yes, they still put me to sleep. Yeah. It's like I'm sitting there and it's like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, it's like I'm out, and it's because they're not really they're not, almost as if they've been so spoiled with the visuals, these filmmakers now, that either they've forgotten what it's like to actually tell a narrative in a lower budget, or they never even did.
Yeah.
And I think that the case that you're seeing more and more of these younger directors is that they have never even lived in a time period where your only option on a budget was an 8mm camera, right? Or then if you have a little bit medium budget, you have a 16mm camera, and you only have money for a black and white film, and you can't fuck it up, right? It's like, this costs money, and then you have to know what you're doing, because there is no feedback. You don't know how it's looking. You measure it. You understand lighting. You understand the basic exposure triangle, so you understand that if you drop one stop of light within the lens, you have to add the light with a shutter and whatnot, or you have to put an ND filter, which most of those ones you have to do, because you can't really shoot faster than 60 anyways. So there's just so much that goes into it, that you had to tell a compelling story with less shit to tell it with. Yeah. And it's kind of like, I remember when I was in grad school writing my larger theses, like my master's thesis and everything. Yeah. The higher the level of education I got, the lower the word count.
Oh, of course.
Right. And so when you started out, they would say, you have 56,000 words that you could use for this, and you can't go any more and can't go any really higher. Maybe they give or take 5. Mm-hmm. And then the higher you go is like you have to write a compelling, extremely good essay with only 10,000 words. Mm-hmm. And it drops significantly, because then you realize that there's so much bullshit in your writing that you begin to edit yourself, and you're like, I don't need to say that. I don't need to say that. I don't need to say that, And I think that's what these filmmakers need to do now. Mm-hmm. It's like, fine, we existed probably in a 15-year span of cinema that has taken the visuals to a certain perfection that we have never seen before, but we've forgotten the other aspect.
Of course.
Now, hopefully at some point, there's going to be a new golden age of cinema where we take both the visuals that we have learned in the last 15 years, but the storytelling that they had to do in the 80s and 90s, which I think was a golden era of cinema, really. 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think there's 30 years were just phenomenal. And hopefully that we could take it to the next level again and be like, okay, let's learn how to tell a story. But when you watch The Whale, it is like you are engrossed. You don't need any of the other shit. He shot it with, he shot it with a Sony, it was just one of those, it is a cinema camera, but it's only like a $5,000 cinema camera.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's like a cheaper. If you notice, it's actually cropped by 4:3.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the 16:9 aspect ratio.
I love the 4:3.
Yeah. And there's reasons for that, because I remember when I went to film school, they said that if you want, like, if you're making something like King Kong and you're on a budget, one way to make the subject look larger is to shoot at a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And so the reason
there's
why
less negative space.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason why he did that is because he wanted to expose the fatness. Yeah. He wanted to make him look larger and larger. And so the best way to do that is 4:3. But this is what it means. Like, you think outside of the box that way, like, fuck, what am I going to do? Yeah. You're not reliant on CG. You're reliant on your environment and your camera and the tool that you're using. But yeah, that movie just shot with a, with a budget cinema camera that most of us can probably afford.
And when you know that he could get way more funding than that.
Ooh, I know. Yeah. He didn't care to. This is what he wanted. and it's so beautiful. It's beautifully shot. It's, you know, I forgot the director photographer's name, but he works with him quite a bit. He did other movies with him. But yeah, both of them, when they team up, I mean, I think they produce some of the best visuals without the high tech aspects of the Marvel movies have. Yeah. But yeah, good storyteller, knows a pacing, understands what's important, and cuts out all the bullshit. Like, you watch this movie, every shot is meaningful. I know, right? There is no bullshit. It's like having that perfect thesis paper that you write. And you're like, I actually have no bullshit in this. You know, this, like, every word that I used was necessary. And when you watch an Aronofsky film, even if you don't like it too much, like Black Swan, I didn't care for,
but every single shot was.
It was it was still well done, and I can't dispute that part of his directing style.
It would more just be purely for the story that.
I didn't really care for the story that much. It just wasn't that interesting. But
I haven't seen that in a long time either.
Yeah. I mean, the women were hot, and that was pretty much about it. But anyways, I just wanted to give a little spiel about him, just because we've talked about cinema quite a bit, and I know I've said like criticisms that were negative about other directors, but I really want to talk about what I like about certain directors. And he's one that I just think that people just need to experience just at least once in their fucking life. You know, any of his movies is going to be at least a bit compelling. It's none of them are going to put you to sleep. No, even if you watch Noah, like he did that one, you know, that wasn't one of his best films at all, but still,
it's compelling.
Yes, it's still well told. It's a story well told. So yeah, he's someone that I just think does great work. P.T. Anderson, I'll say, is my second.
What has he done?
Oh, like There Will Be Blood. Magnolia,
okay.
Stuff,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, There Will Be Blood's awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, and he pretends the son's his kid.
Yes, yeah.
Or the kid's his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The milkshake scene.
That's another. We could do that too. We could have a film series.
Oh my gosh, yes! I would rewatch that one again.
We'll do that.
Women hate his movies. Just from my experience, I've never met one female that likes either Darren Aronofsky or
interesting
or P.T. Anderson. I think his stories are just far too compelling for the masculine mind. A woman cannot grasp it because so part of it is a different thing. I'm getting way too excited. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
But another part of it, just because in cinema there's something called consciousness.
Yeah.
And so if I want to reflect back to Marvel movies normally has one single conscious throughout the entire film, which means that there is no depth. Like there's conscious could be associated like with theme. There's only one theme from the beginning to end, and that's it. With really compelling directors that know how to tell a story really well, you have multi-level consciousness throughout the entire film. Yeah. And so, like, I don't want, we'll talk about it with The Whale in a second, but let's take another one of either his movies or a good one, like in There Will Be Blood. Like there's different levels of consciousness throughout the movie. The movie is not merely a social critique, right? There is a bit of a social critique about greed. There's also a moral critique about, you know, what is the good, essentially, right? Yeah. Because then you have like the guy who's the preacher, and then you have him, whether good exists at all. And this is what I mean by consciousness, is that there's many different themes, but they're all intertwined together. And, you know, he's a bit of a sociopath. I think one of the best sociopaths depicted in any film ever. Yeah, and so movies like that have that, and then when you watch The Whale, holy shit, that is layers
in one room.
Yes,
that's actually how I knew
it
was a play. I knew it was a play. Yeah. I actually watched it, and I was like, I bet this was a play, and then I looked it up because you can tell a movie's a play
when it's one single
when it's one room, like a Raisin in the Sun.
Yes,
like that is one room.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, Fence is the one I told you that's a play.
That's pretty much.
It's pretty much just the outside, outside of the house. Yeah. So yeah, they all have that similar thing, but the way, because I've never seen the play, so I don't know if the play is as deep as the film is, because I think he adapted it to film, which he probably added a lot more than was prior to it. He probably
I'd be interested to see. But.
Yeah. I mean, that's normal. That normally what happens. It happens the same thing when they adapt a novel to a film. You have
to fill in.
Yeah, you have to either fill in or cut out because novels are so fucking big. It's like I really do think novels should just be turned into like miniseries rather than film.
Yeah,
I think you have to be
like
really good.
Really to do it well.
Yeah, to actually tell the entire narrative. If not, you have to cut everything out.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with it because I don't really care.
Yeah.
I prefer watching the film anyways.
It's like Memoirs of a Geisha is one of the best.
Yeah,
the best books that I've ever read.
Oh, was it? Yeah, but was the film pretty bad?
It was visually great and the acting was good, but an incredible amount was cut out.
Yeah, and that's normally the biggest criticism of everybody that reads a book that they enjoy and watch the film. They always say they have to cut shit out. That All Quiet on the Western Front movie. Or it's the same thing.
Changed quite a bit.
Yeah,
because it simply just wouldn't have been as compelling.
It would. Yeah, that's why.
In a film.
Yeah, but I think if they turn into miniseries, like probably the way the Game of Thrones did, that's not really a miniseries, but turn into a series.
And yeah.
I think it's easier.
More justice. Mm-hmm. But also, how can you justify funding? You'd have to have to justify the cost of producing something that long. It would have to be something really, really popular.
It would. Yes. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, and there's a lot of books that would make really good miniseries that just aren't popular. Yeah.
But anyways, I want to hear your thoughts on The Whale.
The Whale. So I guess we should, if for people we're going to start discussing specifics. So if people want to watch it first or something, which I know many people do when we talk about something that people like to watch or read it or.
Okay.
Or some people like to listen to commentary and then watch it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way I am. And the spoilers doesn't bother me.
No, I'm just saying this is the point.
No, I know. Yeah.
Just a disclaimer for people who care. Charlie is Brendan Fraser is Charlie, which is probably the best I've ever seen him act in anything.
Yes, I know.
So he's always been a good actor.
Yeah.
But
I know. That and Encino Man is probably his two best.
Yeah. Very different. Charlie, I think he's supposed to be like 600 pounds or something.
Yeah.
He's a 600-pound dude who teaches online, keeps his camera off because he's too embarrassed of what he looks like to show anybody.
Yeah.
And he never leaves his house. Mm-hmm. He has, I think it's Liz, is the little Asian lady. She was also in what's her name? Hong Chow. I think
that's her name.
Hong Chow or something like that.
Yeah.
She was also in The Menu. Which is another, it's not nearly as masterful.
Yeah.
It's also a very entertaining.
Yeah.
Good film.
Yeah.
So I recommend if you wanted something to watch from last year like that. Yeah. That one's pretty good. More of just kind of a very well done kind of mindless thriller kind of thing. But it's a fat guy, online teacher, never leaves his house. He has Liz, the little Asian lady.
Yeah.
That she's a nurse and she comes every day to check his blood pressure.
Yeah.
Brings him too much food. Which actually the way she is depicted. So when someone lives in a vicious cycle of any kind to the degree that someone like Charlie's character does.
Yeah.
He obviously has a food problem and it has gotten so out of control that he's 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And the people close to him are both terrified that he might die, extremely angry at him for letting it get to that point, but also completely enabling the behavior.
Yeah.
So she's mad at him for being that fat. She's terrified he's going to die, but she'll also bring him 2 giant sub sandwiches every day.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah.
She completely enables him.
And it's important to know that in this film, he is a homosexual.
He is. Extremely. Yes. Yeah. He left his wife and 8-year-old child for a man. And then the man committed suicide, and the suicide has led him to his eating issue. Eating issues almost to his extreme morbid obesity.
Yes, yeah.
And the movie takes place over 5 days, from Monday to Friday, and it's over the course of the movie he's dying of congestive heart failure.
Yes, yeah.
Refuses to go to the hospital. He reaches out to his daughter and bribes her with, it's like $120,000 that he saved over the course of how since he left to give to her. He promises her all that money so that he can spend time with her. And she's horrific. She's a horrific child. So but she accepts it, and he's like helps her write essays for school so she doesn't flunk out. There is, what's his name? I don't remember the missionary guy's name.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, I don't remember his name. Whatever. Nick? Maybe it's Nick. There's like a end times cult. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Something going wrong?
No, I mean, it's still like showing the numbers, but I don't see the bar.
In what? Reaper?
In Reaper, yeah.
I'll just rip the audio from YouTube, I guess.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's still recording, but it's fine. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm laying out all the characters.
Yeah.
There's only 6 for the whole movie. Charlie, Asian nurse, horrible daughter, missionary, the pizza guy.
Yes.
And the missionary. The missionary keeps showing up to the house trying to convince him to prepare for the end times.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that kind of an end timey pseudo-Christian cult thing.
Yeah.
I guess we could just talk about scenes we film.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of how do you discuss a movie? How do you discuss what's the...
Yeah, we could begin with the scenes and then...
So it opens with a beautiful shot of a bus stopping on on that dirt road, and his daughter, I think, getting out.
Oh, is that okay?
I think that's no, it was the missionary guy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the missionary gets out of the little bus. And the first time you see Charlie, it's over his shoulder, and he's a giant fat guy masturbating to gay porn.
Yes, yeah.
Just kind of jarring and pathetic. And when he reaches climax, he
gets like a heart attack.
He has a heart attack, pretty much.
Angina.
And the missionary has to come in to read an essay to him as he thinks he's dying. He has this essay that
you find out later
that his daughter wrote.
Yeah, but you don't know that at the beginning.
No. I guess if people have already watched it, we can just we'll just assume people have watched it. I don't really want to give a whole recounting of everything.
Okay, yeah.
But it's just every single thing is worth discussing to me. What's a scene that? What themes stick out to you?
Yeah, so that's normally where my mind goes. Directly to a theme.
Maybe you take the reins. And
one of obviously. Most of Aronofsky's film are actually religious. He was raised a Jew, not too practicing of a Jew, and so most of his films deal with some kind of religious theme.
Yeah.
He's always very critical of Christianity. He always is, and that's something that people have to eat up if they're going to watch his films. Yeah. He's never that fond of Christian theology.
Yeah. But he's a Jew, so
yeah, he's a Jew and kind of like a weird secularist. And he's not. I know he's not atheist in real life, but he's not like adhering to all the Jewish doctrines. He kind of like mixes it with Buddhism and Hinduism.
Yeah, like everybody does in Hollywood.
Yes, yeah. But he actually seems like takes it serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of the themes really is so the overall theme that you have to, I think, to get out of it is that it's about salvation.
100%,
that's what the film is about, essentially. And so this missionary guy represents the Christian narrative of salvation. Yeah. The Christian narrative.
A horrible misconstruing of the Christian narrative of salvation.
That part might get irritating to some people, but if you just think of it as being a Protestant version of salvation, that makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. And so, so this guy, he's supposed to represent Christianity, but he's representing the Protestant notion of salvation. Yeah. And so one aspect, and why I think every quality that Brendan Fraser has is important, right? The fact that he's obese, right? Because gluttony is a sin.
Character.
Yeah. The character. The fact that he's obese because gluttony obviously is a sin. The fact that he gives into his lower appetites. The fact that he's a sodomite.
He did abandon his
he
family.
Abandoned his family, right? Basically, everything that he has done in that sense was wrong. Like he hasn't done anything right.
Yeah.
His very existence, like right.
That one shot, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I know. It was powerful.
So good.
But yeah, so like the way that he looks.
Yeah.
Is a physical manifestation of how ugly he is inside, even.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing about it is that when he keeps wanting to know whether people think he's disgusting. So, do you think I'm disgusting? He asks that to the missionary, and at first the missionary says no, whatever.
His daughter calls him disgusting.
But his daughter calls him disgusting, and she's a very, very important figure for the salvation narrative.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, so when he starts. When he's talking like to the students, he just wants them to say you have to give a good argument and blah blah blah, and this is good practice, this is good training and everything. Yeah. But then the entire time he keeps talking about honesty.
He's like, just write me something honest.
Yeah, just write me something honest. Write me something honest. And so that's one of his main holdups is dishonesty, right? Mm-hmm. And so what the Protestant is supposed to represent and what he views Christianity to represent is a dishonest view of salvation. The
Protestant view is a dishonest view.
Right. But essentially what he's saying is that, so towards the end, the missionary kid says, the reason why his lover died is because he chose
lust over God.
Yeah, he chose lust over God.
He read Romans 8:13.
Yes. What does that say? Do you remember?
Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah.
Romans 8:13. Romans 8:13 NRSV, because we are.
Yes.
Yeah, which is very close to everything else, but
right. Yeah.
It's free if you live according to the flesh you will die, but if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body you will live.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was it's important to note that his gay lover Alan,
something
it's
like
Alan,
that, yeah.
Who doesn't appear in the film but is a theme.
Mm-hmm.
The kid finds Alan's Bible in their bedroom that Charlie maintains pristinely and leaves the door locked.
Yes.
He finds the Bible, and in it was like really desperately highlighted that verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that part was pretty interesting because then that's the part where Brendan Fraser then begins to say what he opposes with that idea, right? Because then you start talking about,
he's like, you think he died because he loved me?
Yes, yeah. He started talking about how they were making love and everything, and the kid was just like freaking out. He's like, I don't want to listen to this. So do you think it's disgusting?
He thought I was beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Which was touching. Like that's real. Yeah. What he's saying is real.
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that part was the part where he kind of rejected that point. But then you remember when towards the end when he started talking to the Asian girl and the Asian chick said, "I don't believe anybody could save anybody." Right,
the tears are flowing. And stuff?
Yeah. So that doesn't exist.
Because he was convinced that his Asian gay lover, Alan, didn't need anybody but him. That if he just loved him enough, that he wouldn't. Right. He wouldn't kill himself or whatever. If I just do whatever I can keep that person from from damnation.
Yeah. And I think what's important part about that theme is that what he wanted to be was Christ. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be the Savior. He wanted to be the Christ figure in somebody's life. Mm-hmm. And but then he realized that he wasn't that. He can't be that. And that I think that that's what spiraled him even further to depression, right?
And eating and
that he himself could not be God. And so that's the part that I just find so compelling. It's like, wow, that's a deep understanding of human nature because if you remember, like when the serpent convinces Adam to eat it, he tells him that if you eat this, you'll be like God. Mm-hmm. So it is that same theme. It is that same thing that we want to be like God and we want to be like Christ. We want to be the Savior to other people, but then we always fall short to that.
And he got a a harsher reminder of that than most people ever do.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That he sacrificed his entire family
for this thing, and then the guy killed himself. Anyway.
Yeah. That love wasn't enough for him to not kill himself. And so, that part was important. But the reason why I think his daughter is such an important figure, and if you notice, like I love visually that the entire time was raining until that end.
Oh, and then the daughter goes to the window and she's light.
Yeah, and then she's light. Yeah. And so, what was that?
And way overexposed too.
Yes, way overexposed. Yeah. And
beautiful.
And thematically, what that was representing was the fact that she was the only one that's been honest this entire time.
Yeah.
That it doesn't take the individual to save somebody, but it takes the truth itself to save you. Mm-hmm. And that's what was amazing, right? Mm-hmm. Because it was the true words that she was speaking through her little essay that she wrote when she was in 8th grade. It was an honest writing.
What was the haiku she wrote? This apartment smells.
Oh yeah.
I hate everyone. No, I hate everyone. Something. No, this apartment smells. And then the last one was I hate everyone. Yes, I don't remember what the middle line was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. But yeah, he loved that. But yeah, that part was amazing. And then, then he got up and he started walking. And when he started walking towards, because remember earlier she asked him to walk to her without the cane, without the walker, and he couldn't do it.
She's like, walk over to me. He's like, what? And she's like, walk to me.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have cast her part better.
I know. I think everybody was casted amazing. Every single person. Yeah.
It's the actress that plays his daughter, Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
She's the redhead from Stranger Things.
Oh, I've never seen Stranger Things.
She's I
didn't know that.
Extremely major character.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where she comes from.
Oh, okay.
But I think she proved she is a very versatile actress.
I've never seen her at the other one, but in this one she was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, and then that's when he started floating off because he died, but he was saved.
Oh, and that shot of the beach.
Oh, yes, I know, yes.
Oh, one of my favorite scenes from the entire thing is it's when there's the kids there, they're smoking weed, and then they're in the hallway, and the Liz, the nurse friend, and the first time you see that his ex-wife, his daughter's mom, walk in, and it's exposed that Charlie has been saving up $120,000 over the course of his life to give to his daughter, and his friend was totally thought that he wouldn't go to the hospital to save his life because he didn't have any money. So she's obviously distraught and storms out.
Yeah.
And the kid leaves. And the mom is obviously just a bitter bitch. Yes, horrible woman. They did her up really well.
They did,
But, his daughter, the mom tells the daughter to leave. She's like, get out now, leave now. So the daughter goes to storm out, and he's like, well, but your essay, and he tries to hand it to her, and she turns around and she's like, I don't care about you.
Yes.
And he's just like, it's a good essay. And she's like, why don't you die already? And the mom's like, get out, get the fuck out. So there's that scene where they're kind of rehashing their lives together.
Right. Yeah.
And, kind of screaming at each other, being tender with each other, screaming at each other back and forth. And then everything's calmed down, and she's sitting on the couch, and
that part.
And she's like, you're wheezing, and he's like, yeah. And, she's like, can I listen? So she gets up and like the crook of his arm.
Yeah.
And he just starts recounting remember when we took Ellie to the beach, and like, you got mad at me because I cut my legs up on the sand, and I got blood all over the car, and they're reminiscing. And then she's like, you sound awful. And he's like, yeah, I'm dying. And she's like, fuck you. Like, really quietly. Oh, it's just such a gorgeous
I
scene.
know. I love that scene. That was good. One of the best. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. Because I just watched that part like 4 hours ago. I watched the first half last night because I'd already seen it, but I remembered everything. I just wanted to be fresh. But and she goes to what did she say? She's like, I raised her and you're giving her the money. We did everything we could. Thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But there's that moment where she's storming out and he turns around and he's like, I just want to know I did one thing right with my life. That's probably one of the most genuinely acted lines delivered in any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. It was so good, man. His performance was
like when he and Ellie finally he apologizes to her and she finally accepts it right at the end.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And he's like, I was in love. I never should have left.
Yes,
I never should have left you. I'm sorry. And and she calls him daddy and stuff. And
the whole ending
is so intense.
It is.
One thing I think is worth noting about the movie is it's the only movie I can think of that honestly depicts gluttony as an archetypal sin.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I can't think of another
movie that does that. Yeah.
No, like the binge eating scenes, 100% real. That is one. I don't know if you have.
I've never done that before.
I have, like 100%.
Have you?
Yes. Because that's the thing. I don't suffer with anything but gluttony, really.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Yeah.
I'm not a lustful person. I'm not a prideful person.
Right.
I'm not a greedy person. I'm not a wrathful person.
Yeah.
I'm not really envious of anything, but I have a eating problem.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad.
I know, of course.
But that's the one to me.
Yeah. But you feel that inclination and you probably had moments.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like I remember when I was really depressed in my late teens, early 20s, like really bad. And I'd be driving home from work or something. I would stop by a McDonald's and buy 4 cheeseburgers, eat them all, and then make myself vomit. Seriously. Yeah. So when he was having that, he was doing that thing where he'd ordered the pizza. What was the?
It's like 4 pizzas.
No, the triggers. So he gets like 2 pizzas.
Yeah. From
this pizza place for I don't know if he does it every day. But,
yeah.
But there's a delivery guy who he talks to, Dan. I don't know what Dan was. I don't know what Dan's, because obviously every character is archetypal of something. Right. I don't know what the pizza guy is.
I think it's because he was dishonest. Like he acted like he liked him over through the door, but the moment that he looked at him,
okay, because he was friendly.
Yeah, the moment he looked at him,
he was disgusted. And he ran away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's the pizza guy. You can see that was another thing is the shot, the shadow shot through the window.
Oh yeah,
100% a play thing. I could see the door on the set, on the stage.
Yeah,
and they have the window cut out and have somebody walk in front of a light.
Yeah,
100%. Like that was the moment I was like, oh, this is a play.
Yeah, that's true.
But he comes and he knocks on the door. It's always shocking to him.
Yeah,
the guy knocks on the door and he's like brought out of a daze or something.
Yeah,
and he's like, pizza delivery or something.
Yeah.
And they establish really artfully that he always tells him the money's in the mailbox.
Yes.
Set the pizzas by the door. And the guy's like, you sure? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And then there's, the one time where he's just come off of I think he was laughing at the haiku or something that his daughter wrote. So he goes into some cardiac arrest thing. And he's like hacking up a lung, and then he gets the knock at the door and he has to pretend that he's okay. And Dan's like, oh, you sure you're okay?
Yeah.
Need me to call anybody? He's like, no, I'm fine. He's like, okay, well, have a good night, Charlie. And but then he goes out.
Yeah.
He opens the door to get his pizza and he looks over and he notices the guy was waiting for him to open the door so he could see him. And he's horrified and leaves.
Yes. Yeah.
So that sends Charlie into a binge eating.
Oh yeah.
He grabs the pizza. He doubles them up. He fists them. He grabs a bag of sandwich bread, throws it on the counter, dumps chips all over it, makes chip sandwich things out of it, dumps grape jelly on him, and he's just going. And then it really fast, abrupt cuts to him vomiting in the trash can and like weeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't believe that I had to be sitting next to somebody I knew while I was watching this, because I was being destroyed. I have never been this called out in a movie ever.
Yes, yeah.
Like it was, I think that's why I appreciate it so much. Cause I felt like my thing that I struggle with.
Oh yeah.
Movies are never about things that I struggle with.
Yes.
Really. They're like, I like the beauty of fatherhood is a thing, like fathers and sons. Like that's a thing that touches me and stuff, but I'm never like,
I never called out in the movie.
Drug stuff, never. But that, I was like, wow. Like that, like I was just impressed how masterfully he depicted what that's like. Yeah. Like there's the scene where he's like sitting at his counter, slumped over, like fatly slumped over on it, and he's like editing, and then he grabs a whole Milky Way bar and opens it. He's about to eat it, and he's like, he like looks at it for a second, and he's like, no. And then he puts it back in the drawer, and then he starts researching because Liz had just told him he had congestive heart failure, and he's like Googling congestive heart. His blood pressure was like 230 over 120. Oh yeah, like he should be exploding. Right. Like that's I don't think any living person has ever had that high of a blood pressure. But that sends him into a binge eating, and he literally eats one Milky Way bar in 3 bites, another one in 3 bites, and then he throws it all. Like, there's that vicious. There's something about being confronted with your sin in a way that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you do it more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I haven't had
that specific one.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I just.
But I don't think that's a common one people deal with. I don't think that. I don't think people struggle with gluttony like that to that degree very often.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many people maybe that do.
I think that generally the food we eat is garbage, so we're all fat now.
Yes,
but genuinely struggling with gluttony like that is not a common thing.
Right, I agree with you.
People just generally eat too much, but most people, it's not a...
Right, yeah.
Like, it's not good.
No, yeah. I've never eaten to I mean, one time I ate when I was a kid 2 slices of cheesecake that made me vomit.
Why? Just because it was too much?
Yeah.
But you're also a kid.
Yeah. It was the first thing in the morning that I ate, and I found the cheesecake my dad brought from the restaurant. I was like, oh my gosh, me and my brothers were like, let's eat it for breakfast. It's like we had a slice, and I'm like, I'm still hungry. You get another one?
And it just was too much.
Yeah.
But that wasn't because you had like a pathological thing.
No, it was just like both me and my brother vomited. We was like, oh, we're so full. Because I think because it wasn't cut, it wasn't pre-cut. It was like, it comes from Food Service of America. Yeah. And so we cut ourselves. So our slices were like giant cake slices. And we had 2 of them. So technically.
Was it just you that vomited? Or?
No, we both did.
You and Steven?
Yep. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Because, we just, because when you do cake slices, you talk about like, it's probably 4 normal cheesecake slices, and you're talking about like a 10-year-old kid. And so we're just like.
That's easily 1,500 calories.
Yes. That was like painful.
Yeah.
That sucked. And
like imagine doing that pathologically to yourself.
No, I have not.
There's something extra masochistic about gluttony too. Because it causes physical pain.
Yeah.
Because having too much sex, unless you get an STD, that doesn't cause you physical pain. Right, it can be just as vicious and manifest in different ways.
But it just causes you a child or
an STD or angry people or whatever.
Yes,
but it's not. It doesn't.
It's not an immediate.
No, it's not like you're. It doesn't require that you do something to your dick that literally mutilates it.
Right. Yeah. With food,
it causes physical pain and vomiting. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's different. But I also think that's why most people don't struggle with it, because it's too immediately uncomfortable. It's not great. You have to be so gratified by food that the pain and that stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah. How young were you when you kind of realized that you were gluttonous?
13, 14, 15.
13. Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like 200 pounds.
Okay.
Like the 8th grade.
Yeah.
He was 190, 200 pounds. I've never been gigantic.
Of course, yeah. I'm not saying that you were. I'm just saying that like when you knew that was a problem.
Oh, easily then.
Mm-hmm.
When I became self-aware.
Yeah. And when was the first time like you binge ate to the point of vomiting?
Sophomore year of high school, junior year of high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That makes you feel like shit immediately?
Oh, yeah. You want to kill yourself. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And you do it again.
Yeah.
Not to the point of vomiting. That was rare, but still.
Right. Damn.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I just think it's foreign to people. And I think that's why when a lot of the commentary about the movie has been about how it either makes fun of fat people.
Yeah, most people focus on the gluttonous part.
But they don't know why the gluttonous matters.
Right,
it's
they don't.
Obviously an intrinsic part of the character that he's gigantic.
It is, yes.
That he's
yeah,
600 pounds.
Yeah.
Did you know that they had him wear like 300 pounds of prosthetics every day to film?
Yeah, I watched some of the behind the scenes afterwards because I just was curious.
Yeah.
And that looked horrible.
Yeah, he was suffering in that. And he trained with dancers to learn how to move like a fat person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was... which is, it's the most real fat person I've ever seen depicted in a movie.
I know, yeah. Because he himself had to gain the weight at least to have the base to be round.
Yes, like he had to gain weight.
Yeah.
He had to learn to move like a fat person.
And then with a prosthetic just made it even more so,
But that was to me what was probably for me the most striking was how...
Yeah, how accurate it depicted it.
100%. Yeah, and I think that people who think it just makes fun of fat people are either fat people who are completely lacking in self-awareness.
Or self-confidence, really.
Whatever, yeah. Or they just have no idea what gluttony is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, it's probably, to me, have... tastes in movies that we like movies that confuse the vast majority of like that that Extremely Loud Incredibly Close movie that I like so much.
It's a beautiful movie.
Panned critically because people thought it was just Oscar bait.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it didn't do well. It didn't review well. Even though I think it's one of the best movies of that half of the decade.
Yeah. No,
but people just thought it was. Yeah. But I think doing stuff like that, people just feel like it's pretentious. I think it's people assume that good filmmaking is just pretentious now.
Yes, yeah. I think a large part of it is because they don't understand the depth of the film as well. They're just not prepared to see it. Yeah, or they're not prepared to see it. Yeah, because either way, it's like when everything that I read about the whale just talked about fatness. It's like, but that's a part of the theme.
It's an intrinsic part of the theme, but you're
it's
not
an important part.
It.
But it's just as important that he was
shamed the entire time. Like, he actually wasn't shamed. I mean, he was shamed.
Yeah, but he was supposed to appear disgusting. Yeah. Because he was disgusting. Yes. Right? And so he was a physical manifestation of somebody who abandoned his fucking family. Yeah. That's who he was. Yeah. He was a disgusting human being. And so then he also wanted to be God. Yeah. And then he wasn't God, and then he fell into like this spiral of madness. And so he became like a devilish, disgusting character. That's the fucking point of it. And so it's like, yes, it's important that he was fat, but it wasn't a social commentary on fatness. No, it was
gluttony.
Yes, it was a moral commentary on humanity. It was a moral commentary of madness. Yeah. And
if anything, it's sympathetic to fat people.
It is, yes,
deeply empathetic with the fat person.
Yeah, I would say, very, very much so.
That's what I felt empathized with as a person who struggles with food stuff.
Yeah, like, it's funny that you're saying that, just because I think that's what struck me the hardest about the movie The Fences.
Oh yeah, because it was about you, about fatherhood.
Yeah, and so just watching that, just like
wasn't the question like I don't feel like you like me or something.
Right, the son. Yeah.
What does he say?
I can't word, but basically he said, like you? I said, I don't have to like you. And he says, I gave you food. I give you clothes on your back. I give you a place to sleep. You have shelter. You have everything. It's like, I don't have to like you. Yeah. And but everything about that movie is hard for me to watch with other people. Like, because I feel, it's too... Like, I think the way you worded it was the best thing. I feel called out on. Yes. Like I watch it's like, this is too right on the nose. It's too accurate. Yeah. I've never seen a depiction of like a man who provides for his family, but also has his own demons and also has things that he has to overcome. accurately,
but never does good enough.
Yes. It's like either they're just going to make them seem like an asshole. Like if there's a guy who fucks his secretary, he just depicted as an asshole, you don't need no man, whatever. Or they try to make something more out of it than really what it is. But in that movie, it's like, no, they just show reality, and it's too real. And it's like, I'd have to watch this alone. Like that. Yeah,
we should cover that. We should let's do a film series.
Yes.
We can pick movies.
We should watch that one here. I don't mind watching it with you.
Oh yeah,
because because
I'm a baby.
Yes, but also it's like I could watch it with Amanda. I could watch it with people that I'm intimate with, but I can't watch it like in a theater. No. There's no way I could watch a movie in a theater.
Dude, I had to silently weep at the Whale in theaters.
Oh, I bet it was
soundtrack.
amazing.
The guy that did the soundtrack, he's done a lot of stuff.
Right, yeah, I looked that one up too. Yeah,
he's done a lot of
beautiful, man. Yeah, and that in the end, like the climax of the film,
the climax
of
strings,
the music that goes with it,
but having the sub bass in giant speakers in a theater,
I bet that
rumbled.
Was
intense.
It's so amazing that he's such a fucking good director that he could make you feel intensity about somebody walking. That's brilliance. It's like he's just fucking brilliant. You can't take that away from him as a filmmaker. No, that's wow. Wow.
Something I think is interesting. You were talking about I don't believe that anybody can save anybody.
Yeah.
Or that people can save people.
Yeah.
Or whatever she said.
Yeah.
I don't remember. That was probably one of the best. That whole last...
Like 25 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, 25 minutes. The conversation with the wife.
Yes. Conversation with her.
The conversation with her and then with the daughter. It was just
that build up to that.
So intense.
Oh,
the entire.
I think it started with the conversation with him with a Bible verse, and then and then because each one of those those systems represented something. One of them represented that you are saved by Christ. The other one represented that nobody could save anybody at all. And then the finality was that you're saved through truth itself, through honesty,
but she had that conversation. So Liz's parents are the leaders of that cult in whatever area they're in.
Yeah.
And her brother, the one who killed himself, was really devout in it, and then he left, and then
because
he fell out of it.
Sodomite, yeah,
he left for a mission trip thing, and then he came back and he fell out of it because he was a sodomite with the other guy. With Charlie, and then he kills himself because there's an incongruity with what he knows is true and the way he's acting. So she obviously has extreme. That I actually like the archetypal relationship between Liz and I think it's Nick, is the missionary kid. They're dynamic.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
The two, the vapid boilerplate,
Protestant,
empty Protestant Christian narrative, versus the people who were scorned by it, who don't actually believe in anything anymore and think that nothing means anything. They're a very good counterplay.
I think so.
But she has that. There's that. He keeps showing up and she doesn't want him there, so she takes him out. And she, on the smoking her cigarette, tells the kid her brother's story and your cult killed my brother, which that's not what killed her, but she's missing the point of that. Do you think that Aronofsky meant that? Because I think the beauty is they're both missing it.
Yeah, I think in that sense they're both missing the point. That's what he's saying.
Do you think Aronofsky meant that?
I feel like them to miss it? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Because I can't tell what I'm getting out of a movie and what's intended. I can't even tell if that's the exact same thing. But he keeps saying stuff like, I think God brought me here for a reason. And stuff, which is true.
Yes. Yeah.
He doesn't know why, and he's not equipped to do anything about it, but he keeps saying God has me here for a reason. And she's like, Charlie doesn't need saving.
Yes.
She says something like that.
Yes.
He doesn't need saving. he won't be alive next
Right.
week, kind of thing. He doesn't need,
Yeah.
And she says something like, she's like, I'm the one who can save him.
Oh, did she say that there?
I think
don't
she
remember
said.
that.
I think she said that.
Yeah.
She says something about how she's going to save him.
Yeah.
That she's going to help him.
Yeah.
But then, because she feels responsible for him.
Right. Yeah.
Because her brother, in a way, ruined Charlie's life.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But then later, her honesty, because everything.
Yeah, you're right. Her honesty. Yeah.
Her honesty is she doesn't believe anybody can save anybody. So it's actually an inversion of what she was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Because what she's doing throughout the movie is maintaining his status quo.
Right.
She comes and she berates him a little bit for eating too much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that scene where he chokes on the sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good. He's like eating one of his subs and immediately starts choking, and she has to Heimlich him. It's like depressing, crushing that he's just choked, and he's like, I'm okay. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Chew your food.
Yeah.
You're not an animal. And she means it. But then she stands up and she's visually defeated and picks the sandwich up off the floor and hands it back to him.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't say anything else after that.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's a very honest.
It is. Yeah. And I think you bring up a really good point that she was pretending to be his savior, but she couldn't save him.
She wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
She kept trying to tell him to go to the hospital. She genuinely believed he didn't have any money. So
I know. Right. Yeah. But yeah, her maintaining him up to that point, she probably thought that she at least was doing good to him. Mm-hmm. Even if her actions wasn't really that, but I think she kind of almost wanted to be, again, like the Christ-like figure. She wanted to be a savior, but she couldn't. For him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, she couldn't do it. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie.
So many.
I know. Yeah, there's... Whew. But yeah, I know the ending scene was like, I couldn't do anything for like 5 minutes after that. I was just thinking about something.
Yeah, me when I left the theater, I have to ride home in the car with Joe.
Yeah.
It's like I should be alone right now.
I know. Because Joe probably just had his regular commentary.
He liked it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he has good taste in movies, and he likes them for the right reasons, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not never as impactful for him.
Yeah.
The movie he really, really liked was that 1917 movie.
I never even heard of that.
It's World War I. A kid has to... I'm not going to remember the detail.
Yeah.
What he's tasked with running a message from his position at the front lines. Or maybe he has to run it to the front lines. It's a kid has to run a message from where he is all the way to people who need to know it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Through enemy territory.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's one continuous shot.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's a really good, very, very well done.
When was this made?
Pre-COVID, I think, 2018.
Okay. So pretty recently. Okay.
It's very, very, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very well paced.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely tense the entire time, but with
with
kind of
long
peaks and valleys.
Yeah, that's good.
Visually stunning.
Yeah.
He really liked that. Joe is impacted by visuals.
Oh, okay,
obviously, we kind of know that.
Yes, yeah.
He's a visual.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their thing. Like mine tends to be sonic. Like I'm touched musically.
Right.
You're kind of a combination of everything.
Right.
He's a visual guy. I like everything, but like music is the one that hits me if anything is.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that visually beautiful movies do more, and The Whale is visually beautiful, so I think he liked it for that.
Yeah, that movie was just a complete package.
It's so good.
The music, everything to me was
any criticism of it annoys me and misses the point.
I know. Yeah.
Actually, this is a commentary on consumerism.
No. Oh my God. I couldn't even read many of the criticisms. Like, okay, you guys, no. If you don't get this, you shouldn't be watching these movies. That's what I felt like saying to them. Yeah. I was like, just stop. You seek another profession. Do something else. I mean, you could say what people want about Siskel and Ebert, but those two actually understood film.
Oh no.
If you listen to some of their criticisms, like, they're pretty like spot on.
They're
Even
like boring.
yes, yeah.
Everything was good, but it was boring.
Yeah.
2 stars.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They weren't bad at their job.
Yeah.
And sometimes they understood the deeper commentary.
Critics used to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them. Now they're just like...
They're not simply critiquing anymore.
Just has to be a social commentary of something.
Yes, they have to posit some positive thing about their view.
Yeah.
Instead
that's
of...
what it is.
That's what I want to... I would really start to like doing like critiquing of like music and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've been...
like they used to. Just
I've been binging Lord's music.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
I
just know their first album, Pure Heroin.
Every single album is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Masterpiece.
I haven't listened to any of the other ones. How many has she released?
3 full albums.
3, okay.
They're every 4 years, which I think is a good cycle.
Yeah.
3 to 4 years is the shortest amount of time between albums. You should be.
Yeah.
As a good, generally.
And I know when she started, she was like 16. So
she's
still young then.
She's my exact age.
Is she? Yeah.
I think I'm born in May and she's born in November of the same year.
Nice. Okay.
Like I think it's The Path is one of her songs off of Solar Power, the most recent album.
Okay. When did that one was released? Like 12 time?
2022.
Oh, wow. Really recently.
This last August.
Okay.
Masterpiece album.
Yeah.
Everybody hated it, but masterpiece.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And I have comment about that. But
yeah. What did they say? Why didn't they like it?
It's very down tempo.
Oh.
Down tempo, moody, atmospheric.
But that's her.
I know.
Okay. I would be disappointed if it wasn't.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it. So it came out in Royals, the Love Club EP that originally had Royals, I think came out in 2012, and then Pure Heroin came out in 2013.
Okay.
Which was right at my end of high school. Like she is extremely introspective in her writing about the experience of the times.
Right, yeah.
In a really hyper specific to her age way, and I happen to be right in.
Right.
Because Anne Marie is also a diehard Lord fan.
Oh, really?
And we connect on it in exactly the same way.
Yeah,
So every time Lord puts out an album, it's exactly what's going on in my head.
Yeah.
I think the Path opens with let me I thought it was kind of is it The Path, Lord? Let me see. Yeah, born in the year of OxyContin, raised in the tall grass. Like it's about the dichotomy of like growing up when we did, but also wanting nothing to do with it. I personally think that Lorde is one of the most important like pop artists of the time as far as the content of her work goes. And the more I listen to it, the more I'm just convinced that everything post Lorde is Lorde like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really,
you think she was that influential?
Yes,
yeah.
In the musical landscape.
That's interesting.
Like after Pure Heroin came out, everything started sounding like down tempo, moody. Like she was the first. Like who was it? Billie Eilish will do stuff and like she's just singing like Lorde.
Right, yeah,
like a less interesting Lorde. Like,
she's not as good.
No. But
I know what you mean though. Yeah,
like she'll do stuff sometimes and I'm like, that is ripped off.
Yeah,
that is ripped off of like 2014 Lorde music.
Yes, yeah.
It's very significant. In the same way that like Lana Del Rey is one of the most important pop artists of the last 10 years. 100%, yes.
Oh, okay.
Easily. And if you familiarize yourself with their catalog, and then you listen to other people after it, like I'm a diehard Alice in Chains fan. No, half of rock bands in the US for the 10 years after 1995 were half ripping off Alice in Chains like 10% of the time.
So they kind of were the ones that influenced the change from from the hair metal to the 90s sound. You think?
Like Dirt.
Yeah.
It was Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. Like Dirt and then Super Unknown in 1994. Where they were massive. Like there's a video of Dave Grohl apparently he is an interview with Dave Grohl where he was talking about how they were Nirvana and Soundgarden. I think when Super Unknown was being produced, they were working with the same producer.
Yeah.
And Soundgarden left and Nirvana was going in. And then the producer was like, hey, do you guys want to hear what we're working on?
Yeah.
And they played, I don't remember what track. I think they played, I don't remember what it was, but maybe Black Hole Sun. I don't think it was Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the opening track's name. I can't remember the name. That's funny. Sorry, I'm trying to remember it, but I can't because I keep thinking Them Bones, but that's the opening track for Dirt, and I've said both of them now. But he played Super Unknown for them.
Yeah.
And everybody in Nirvana was like, they're like, this is the biggest deal ever recorded.
Oh, really?
Like
yeah.
about everybody in the grunge scene had that feeling about Soundgarden.
Yeah, yeah.
Was like, Soundgarden is the biggest deal of all of us.
Yeah.
But Lord is a pop music shifter in the same.
Yeah.
Like nothing really sounded like Pure Heroin before it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then everything after it kind of rips it off. But no, but Melodrama is her second album for 2017. That one, I think, won Rolling Stone's like 7th most important album of the 2010s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was that released?
2017.
2017, okay.
That one, like Green Light is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, I know that one.
Perfect Places is an amazing pop song.
I don't know that one.
Handmade Dynamite, beautiful. There's just it's all beautiful, and then Solar Power comes out, and it's really mature because now she's like 25.
Right, yeah.
So she's like an adult.
Yeah.
As much as like she's reached peak woman maturity. Like,
right, yeah.
And she's beautiful in all of the music videos, but very mature. She's she's a woman now.
Yes, yeah.
But every song is about the discomfort of being an adult, but also getting over everything.
Oh, okay.
Didn't, you move into adulthood and all the things you thought mattered don't matter anymore, and now you have to figure out what matters again.
Yeah.
And it's a very good, it's very well produced and good.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta listen to those two. I haven't listened to the.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's been my current fixation is like figuring out why my intuition is that Lorde is the most important.
Yeah.
Pop singer of the 2010s.
Yeah. Not Carly Rae Jepsen.
No, have you thought about her since? Have you thought about her once since?
No, not really.
Lana Del Rey, Lorde. Like Lady Gaga is important in a different way, but only as a spectacle. It's not I don't think she's sublimated into the culture in the same way.
Yeah.
No, Lady Gaga has been extremely well known in public since like 2009. When did Poker Face come out?
Right, I know. Yeah.
The Fame came out in 2009, which is actually a good album.
Yeah.
From like a pop perspective, but she's not doing anything to influence the culture. She just has her own micro culture that everybody's fascinated with.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like the gays like her, but it's just Lady Gaga. It's not, I don't know. It doesn't do the same thing.
And she like really morphs into different.
She's like Madonna that way.
Yeah.
She's very much this century's Madonna.
Yeah.
Even though Madonna's still alive.
Unfortunately.
It's the same, like she goes through fate. You can go like, oh, there's the meat dress era. There's like she's there's different Lady Gaga eras.
Yeah.
The cowboy hat era.
Like a ballad era. It's like all her songs now are just like ballads, not like her poppy music anymore at all.
Her pop was so good. Yeah. like Bad Romance is actually a spectacularly fun song, and it's well produced. And
oh yeah, I agree. I like that one.
I'm trying to think what her last. Born This Way sucks.
Born This Gay.
Was born this gay. I think that's probably when it started to. I think Lady Gaga up until like the Born This Way album was actually pretty musically interesting.
Yeah. But don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen.
Remember that Burqa song she put out and everybody got mad?
Oh my gosh.
Was that off of Art Pop? That was on Art Pop.
Was that, I don't know which album
was that Applause is the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Don't be a drag.
No. That's
Born This Way?
Born This Way,
That's right. I'm thinking of Applause. like the gay anthem of whatever year that came out. But I think Burqa
Yeah.
was a song on Art Pop.
Was it? Okay.
Very, very edgy.
Yeah.
About women wearing burqas, and then
Yeah.
everybody got mad and they retconned it off the album or something.
Yeah.
That was like a late Tumblr era retconning, way before retconning was
like
a
I think
thing.
some of her songs are being reemerged that weren't that popular at the time, like that I want to dance with my hands. Like Jesus said, and now that's everywhere. It's like that's I think
that's so weird.
That came out like in 2009, I think. It's one of her very first, but it didn't hit hard like the way her other ones did.
Like Just Dance and stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
but this one
Love
now it's
Game.
like now it's everywhere. They're playing it on the radio. It's like that's that I remember when it kind of came out, but it didn't get that much airplay back then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now it's like one of her more popular songs and it's an old one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't hear the radio ever, so I
Yeah.
don't know. But
yeah, but even if you just look on like TikTok or anything, they're playing that song.
I've never looked. I don't even know what the app looks like.
And I don't have TikTok either, but I like Instagram.
The little reels and stuff.
Yeah, the reels and stuff. Yeah, like they played. I see it all the damn time. Ever since that damn show came out that everybody likes, the new Addams Family show.
Wednesday.
Yeah, just about the girl Wednesday.
That show sucks so.
Yeah,
bad.
I didn't watch it.
I've seen like half of it vicariously.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
I think
it's so badly written.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, it is horrifically.
It
written.
looks bad. I don't care.
It's
I didn't care to
so
watch them. Like
bad.
Yeah. And Wednesdays,
That's the thing I hate is that the character is not supposed to be developed at all. She's a psychopath.
Yeah.
But they develop her in the show. I'm like, stop.
Do they? Yeah.
You're retconning the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they make the dad look super duper Mexican.
Do they?
Yeah, have you not seen them?
No, I really haven't seen it.
Because they're Mexicans. The Addams Family.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Sanchez.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. Addams Family. Yes, like some of the worst. Yeah, what's their name? So he's always supposed to look like kind of a short Mexican in a big suit.
Oh, right.
That's from 1938.
Mm-hmm.
But like they look vaguely Mexican. What's their name? Is Gomez. Yeah.
Oh.
But Wednesday, I want to see the Wednesday TV series. Do they have the actors? What's his name? Just give me the starring list. What's his name? Dude, they don't have the dad listed. Wednesday dad. Wednesday dad.
Oh, it's him.
What's his name?
Oh man, he's been in so many movies.
But he's like a Mexican guy.
Yeah, he's actually I think Puerto Rican.
Is he Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
Dominican?
Yeah. He's Central American.
Those
What's
are
his
Korean.
name?
Luis Guzman?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Yeah, what's his?
Let me see where he's from. He was like in anger management. That's where.
Was he?
Yeah.
Puerto Rican. Oh, he is Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
Oof, dude, he's ugly as shit.
I know.
Oh, Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Okay, that's where I knew him from.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so he was like a 90s and early 2000s guy.
Yeah, he was in Traffic. He was in a lot of movies. So he's the dad.
Yes. But he's like a serious character.
Is he?
Isn't he a comedian?
I don't know if he has done stand up, but he's been in a lot of comedies. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a funny actor.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Wow, weird.
But he's been in dramas too. He is who they always hired, like to be the fat Puerto Rican or the fat Mexican or whatever in a movie. Yeah, he plays gay sometimes, which is pretty damn funny.
Is he really good at it?
Yeah,
but it's obviously fake.
Yes. Just like super flamboyant, wearing inappropriate clothes for his body type. Yeah, he's good.
That's definitely. When did Borat come out? 2000.
When did that come out? Was it 2005? Probably something like that.
Let me look that up. Do you like Borat?
It's
or
pretty
do you
good.
find it unwatchable?
Yeah. No, I liked it. I didn't see the second one. I didn't.
The second one had some funny. 2006.
2006, yeah.
Had some funny parts, but it was a little too.
Too.
Who's the guy? Was it Who's the politician they pranked to be on the movie? That he thought it was a real interview.
Oh, Ron Paul?
Was it Ron Paul?
I think so, yeah. Or was it someone else?
I don't know.
Maybe Ron Paul was Bruno.
Oh, I think that's right.
Yeah.
People are like, now that we're talking about comedy movies, people are...
Yeah, they probably know better than we do.
Borat disambiguation. No, I want to see the second one. The Borat subsequent movie film, yeah. Who was let me find the politician they got. Mike. They wanted to give the monkey to Mike Pence.
Oh, okay.
Who was it? Rudy Giuliani. They got Rudy Giuliani on the...
Oh,
they were like interviewing him and he thought it was a legit interview and it was like a whole thing. But there was some funny...
Yeah.
I think they had to stay with a Jewish family and there were cockroaches and stuff. Like I think the first Borat's like a genius movie.
The first one was great.
The running of the Jews.
Yes.
Crack the egg before the Jew chick hatches.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
Comedy movies aren't good anymore. I saw the Whale proved to me that like good movies are still possible.
Me too. Yeah.
But they also they have to be criticized for everything about it every single time they come out.
Yeah. I just want more people just make more good movies. I really love cinema, but
nothing's good anymore.
Nothing's good, and so I don't get to watch movies anymore just because they're all shit.
They're either good because they're watchable but pulp.
Yeah.
Or garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so hopefully more good ones come out again. So I can enjoy it.
Yeah, do you want to do a series on movies?
I do.
To do it?
I really do. Since we covered this one, I really do want to cover Fences next.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we probably could record early like this and just watch it in there right before we record.
Whenever you have time.
It could be fresh in our minds. So yeah. Because I have full control over the schedule. This coming up week is probably one of the best times for me.
Yeah,
I'm not doing much.
Yeah. How long did we go?
An hour and a half.
Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll talk about Fences next week.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.